They said boys will be boys, but I didn't really know what boys were, so I spent my days becoming. First, raucous mess. Yelling, wretch, wrestling, wailing, usually running on playgrounds, first from glee. And then again when the kissy girls came with their cooties and chased pecks to the cheek. They chased me until I learned that cooties don't actually work that way. Silence then soon smothered the ruckus. First from shushes and swats at school and church, enough bruises nursed to know when to keep my mouth shut. And then later from stoic men I modeled myself after, call him James Bond, or Dad, or anyone who only really cared about the appearance of not caring. Feelings were a feminine thing. Here, boys will be broken. Better the sucker of bottled emotions than the stab of sissy. Better to tuck trauma tight than let it float free like a butterfly. Better to be empty than too loud. That is until college came, complete with freedom and independence and alcohol. Here, men will be boys, raucous messes, wailing with drinking games, chasing and kissing girls with bruises to tell stories better than slurred words. I learned better to drown trauma than tuck it tight. Better to crack the bottle than to crack yourself. Better to be loud than nursing an empty heart or cup. Eventually, the alcohol took its toll. I can't remember the booze that broke the camel's back. Silence crashed hard like a haystack. When tongues tied from words slip slurred into knots, or fumbling mess shakes and shambles onto the floor, eventually enough spirits will scream silence back into a boy's soul. So when she took my silence for a yes, took the liquor as license to my lips, took the blank space held aloft by my tongue as a check mark, all the quiet in my bones became a chorus of flesh, a raucous of two bodies smashing together. The sky the next morning still looked the same. I flipped through the encyclopedia in my brain to make sense of the shame that clung to my skin, and I couldn't quite place it in all the empty space in this shower. Couldn't see past the water. You know, the funny thing about the elephant in the room is how long it remembers. The nausea, the sting of sweat, her toothy maw hanging over my face, and all the inky black that sticks it together. At breakfast, the boys gathered as boys do for our morning ritual, interrupting Michael as he recalled all the liquid courage he stomached the night before. Mamadou asked me how my night went, with the same hungry smile that she once wore too. And the whole dining hall turns to me. 5 tables back, a trio of freshman boys bore holes in the now black expanse of naps covering my hanging head. I weakly eye my bacon, knowing boys will be broken, will be jagged edges looking to sink their cut teeth into something substantial enough to hold off all that empty. So I smile, my most practiced grin, satisfied that silence will undress me all the same, waiting for the hoots and the hollers, waiting for all this empty to swallow me, waiting for the air to become boisterous again.